This is Kathy Marshall, and I am VP of Customer Service and Training here at CI Web Group. We're super excited to be doing this webinar today for Ferguson. The topic today is the engine, and it's all about digital marketing strategies designed to increase leads, conversions, retention, and also produce compounding results for years to come. Today, I'm super excited to introduce two really special panelists today. Our first one is Pat Carr, who is Senior Business Strategist here at CI Web Group. Pat has over 30 years of experience in the HVAC industry. He's been an HVAC owner, general manager, sales manager. This gentleman brings a lot of attention and detail to business strategy and also implementation of good business solutions for HVAC owners. We're super excited to have him as part of our team and also speaking today. The second panelist is equally has been such a big piece of the puzzle here at CI Web Group. He is absolutely someone that I've enjoyed working with personally. He's our Director of SEO, Pay-Per-Click, and Business Strategy. Mandeep Bala has a huge amount of experience and actually manages our huge teams here at CI Web Group. They're very, very focused on search engine optimization. Mandeep oversees our SEO team. He also is very involved in the implementation and execution of all the activities that are involved in the strategy, is involved in improving digital marketing footprints on Google. So Pat and Mandeep, I'm going to let y'all take it away today.
Well, thank you, Kathy. I'd like to start out by thanking everybody for taking a little bit of time out of their day to join us today. And speaking on behalf of Mandeep and myself, we want to welcome you to our webinar. We hope that you're going to leave today with some ideas that you can implement, or at least a strategy that you can start putting together to move your company forward even a little more. As said, it's a digital marketing strategy session, and our goal is to give you ways that you can generate more leads, turn those leads into conversions and retention, and get compounding results as you move forward. You know, our program starts with a 12-step roadmap. And your customers, of course, have expectations of you. You have expectations, as do we. And if you're doing your job, we need to do our job so that you're getting the kind of results that you want to get. I think all of us have heard Einstein's theory of insanity, continuing to do the same thing over and over, expecting to get different results. It just doesn't happen. And in the digital world, it not only doesn't give you better results, your results will decline if you don't stay up with the ever-changing landscape that is digital marketing today. So if you keep doing the same thing, you're going to get the same or lesser results. And it's important for you to understand that everything that you've done, all of the thoughts, all of the marketing ideas, all of the approaches that you've currently used have gotten you to where you're at today. And so the question really is this: is it enough? Do you want your company to grow? Do you want to make more money? Do you want to be bigger, affect more people, have a larger clientele, create a more secure business and living for you and your family and the employees that work for you? If you want to do more, then you have to change some of what you're doing. There's no other way to get there. Our 12-step roadmap is really designed to point out that because of the internet today, even the smallest of companies have the same opportunity for growth as giant companies online. If you've got the right strategy, if you've got the right infrastructure, if you've got the right mindset to approach it. But the old mindset was put $1 into marketing and get a quantifiable return all the time. And online, that doesn't necessarily work. There are things that you'll do digitally so that you can reap the rewards from the digital marketing. Monies that you'll spend to set up the infrastructure to handle the leads coming in, convert those leads into a marketable format or directly into business. We've got to continue to change our mindset. When I first came to work for CI Web Group, one of the things that the CEO, Jennifer Bagley, had showed me was how much Google changes the rules, the requirements. It is a ever-changing, almost on a monthly basis, what they require. 2-3 years ago, if you had a website that was mobile friendly, you kind of got bonus points from Google on your overall company score, your website score. Today, if you don't have a true mobile friendly website, you not only don't get bonus points, you get penalized. It's the same exact thing, just at opposite ends. Whether we think of it or not, when you're online, your number one customer is Google. That's who we're marketing to. And Google sets the rules. We're playing in their sandbox. And so we have to constantly evolve what we do so that we play nice with Google, because frankly, if you don't, your website won't get the exposure that you need for it to generate leads. So with that thinking, it's no longer just build a website, it's stagnant, you put it out there, 2-3 years later, maybe you do an update. Because if you still take that approach, you're not going to get positive results, and the monthly, month after month results will decline. Maybe a little different way to look at it is this. 15 years ago, if you were in business, it was still thought that if you're a real business, you need to advertise in the yellow pages. And you could put an ad in the yellow pages and simply every year renew it. Nothing to change, nothing to do. Just pay your yellow page bill, and every year it's the same ad. And over time, people will call more and more often. They're used to seeing your name. It builds a certain amount of trust, and they realize that you're a substantial company. You're here for the long haul, and all of that worked in your favor. Today, if your website doesn't keep up with the constant, ever-evolving Google rules, your website loses ranking. It comes up lower and lower in the query. You get less and less leads from it. So you've got to change the way you think on marketing. Now today, most companies I know anyway are looking to grow. And the way to grow, obviously, is to bring in more people, more new customers. Yet we still, all of us, service a fairly significant portion of people that are nearing or at that retirement age, the baby boomers. And if you're in a climate that's not conducive to retirement, then a lot of these people will move to environments that are better suited for retirement, warmer climates, drier climates. Additionally, as people hit that age, they don't necessarily own homes anymore. They're in facilities, or they're living with family members. So that market is constantly shrinking. Every day it's shrinking. And you have to replace those customers with new customers. And the new customers are the younger generation, the people that grew up with technology, the people that the first thing they remembered holding was a smartphone and surfing the web. The average 6 or 7-year-old can outperform their parents on the internet today. It's scary and it's funny at the same time, but it's true. They don't remember a time when they didn't have smartphones and the internet and texting and Facebook and all the other digital strategies. And when they're out looking for business today, they're looking for a digital solution. They're not going to go to a Yellow Pages, even though that's virtually a dead industry. They're not going to be looking through Money Mailer or some type of direct mail campaign, also a dying industry. They're going online. They're going to use some type of a search, whether it's with smart technology like Siri or one of the new AI devices, or using their smartphone or computer and just doing an organic search. So we need to continue to change our mindset on how we're going to get in front of those people and how we're going to capture them. You need a strategy to put all that together, and that's where CI Web Group comes in to help mold or evolve what you're doing into a more successful, ever-improving strategy. As part of that, you definitely need clarity and focus on what it is you want to do. There's planning involved. You need to position yourself right. You need to leverage technology so that you become more efficient, both in marketing and in how you capture data and information and how you run your business day to day. You need to leverage those items in order to maximize your return on dollars. And putting all of these things together is what CI Web Group helps you do. Now, if you do all of these things right and you do them all in the right order and sequence, and you have the right infrastructure, it does truly create an equal opportunity, because the person on the computer doesn't know if you're a 2-man shop, a 20-man shop, or a 200-man shop. They only know what's online, what your website looks like, what information it provides, what story it tells about you, what the reviews on your website tell about you. That's what they're going to make their judgment on. And that evens the playing field. I hope that makes sense to everybody. You've got to do the right things. You've got to do the right things in order, and you've got to do them at the right time. I used to have this story that I would use when I would train people about grilling a steak. And grilling a perfect steak, however you prepare it, season both sides, get your grill nice and hot, put the steak on. If you like it medium, it's 4 or 5 minutes. One side, flip it over 4 or 5 minutes on the other side, pull it off, you got a perfect steak. What if you did that same thing, that same steps? You got a great cut of meat, you seasoned both sides, you put it on the grill 4 or 5 minutes, flipped it over 4 or 5 minutes, pulled it off, and then you turn the grill on. You still got a raw piece of meat, not the perfect steak. You used all the same ingredients, you just didn't use them in the right order. The order in which you implement things is really important, and it's certainly important in my steak story, but it's also important in your marketing story. You've got to have the infrastructure set first. When we're doing analyzations of people's websites and ongoing strategy sessions, we do research, we help you plan, we implement the changes, we evaluate how effective those changes are. We do what is working more, and we take away the things that aren't working and adjust. We continue to refine our process. And as we keep going through that, your website continues to evolve, your digital marketing efforts continue to evolve so that you maintain and grow in results. For me, the engine starts with the website and branding. You've got to have a properly structured website. A company that I previously worked for, if anyone's not heard the story before, a few months before I joined that company, had spent about $10,000 in building a website. It included some marketing and a brand new website from scratch. And after only a few months there, it was plain to see that this website was a complete disaster. It was coded incorrectly, it was set up wrong, it didn't have the right kind of content, it had a lot of duplicate content, things were copied and pasted from other sites that this company had built. And consequently, despite all the money they were spending for SEO and online advertising, they could not come up on page 1 in any town except for the town that they were physically located in. And at the time that I contacted CI Web Group to take a look at this, see what I can do to fix it, they did an analyzation, we had a couple of meetings on it, and it was easy to understand that it wasn't fixable. It had to be changed, and we had to build a new website. That was a tough decision to make. They had just spent $10,000 half a year earlier, and here we're going to spend thousands again to rebuild a website, but this time do it properly. Very, very difficult. It came down to one decision. Are we getting the results we want? And if not, how are we going to get those results? And in that company's case, they had to have a new website. I don't know that that's your case or not, but if your website is aging, it hasn't been updated, it's not set with the current code, it might be something that you're going to want to consider. But the website, the branding of your company, and the web content, that is your digital voice. That's your story. That's who your company is. That's what people are going to see. If you don't have that set up correctly, you're not going to get the results that you want to get. It's that simple. With that said, once you get people to the website, you've got to convert them. You've got to allow them to schedule work, capture that information so that you've got it for marketing at later dates. Local listings, number 4, is one of my favorite things. I didn't realize that Google, which is our number 1 customer online, uses other search engines as part of their equation to determine if your company is a legitimate company. So have you ever seen something pop up online, any of you, where it has a different address, maybe an old address or an old phone number on there? Or in one place it's Pat's Heating, and in another place it's Pat's Heating and Air, different names. All of these things confuse Google because they don't know which one is the real company. And because you have conflicting data, it drives your overall website score down. So part of our strategy is to go in, clean up these local listings. There's about 70 of them, believe it or not. Of these 70, 8%, if you add up Yahoo and Bing and Yelp and all the other search engines out there, all of them combined are only 8% of the internet searches. 92% is Google. And that's why I said we're playing in Google's yard in their sandbox. So we've got to play by their rules. So we set our websites up so that they play friendly with Google. We meet all the requirements. It allows them to index our data properly and clearly see us online. The next really important thing is getting reviews online. I can't emphasize enough the value of putting live reviews on your website. And currently there's only 2 review systems that meets Google's current standards of an application or coding standard. That's called schema. And with that said, if you're putting reviews on your site, that's great, but you want them to be indexed somehow so that Google can see them, because then it gives you SEO value. Our program does do that. We use one of those 2 methods, and we index the actual towns that you're doing work in. So typically, if you're familiar with SEO work, you're trying to get backlinks to key phrases like AC repair in New York, or furnace repair in Minneapolis. Those are key phrases. And you create backlinks by publishing an article on a third-party Google-approved website and create a backlink to your website. And those backlinks add a lot of value to your website. When you use our review system, you not only get the reviews to show up on your website, but you also get pages published on these third-party websites and blogs, and we create backlinks back to your website, so you're actually getting SEO value. The last company that I was with, the amount of business we started gaining online once we put this review program on was significant. And I think all of us per se have customers that move to an outlying area, or one of their family members, or even a coworker. They get outside of our actual work area, but we take care of them because they're a referral or they're an existing customer, but we're not marketing in those outlying areas. Once this company I was with started doing these reviews, a program called Nearby Now, we started generating digital leads outside of our advertised areas. And we asked on every lead, how did you come to call us? And it was through search engine, this organic search engine. Go in and type AC repair or furnace repair in the town they were in. And because we had SEO value for that town, we started popping up and we started getting leads off it. At the end, no matter what you're doing, the goal is to get leads, to generate leads, to have a strong presence of who you are and to turn that into business. And reviews is a critical portion of that. You will often find companies, I know I did, sent customers to our website when they wanted information. Sometimes existing customers will go to your website just to get scheduled, to set up an appointment, to find out what your hours are. They can't find your phone number. They'll go there to get your phone number. But when they see reviews on your website, it's a really powerful enforcing thing that says we do quality work. We're here to stay. When customers shop, and we'll get into this a little later yet, but when customers shop, they typically go online for a verification that you're a legitimate company, you do good work, you've got a great reputation. And when you've got reviews on your website, more often than not, they don't have to leave your website to see what kind of work you do. So reviews are tremendously valuable. Now, you get SEO value, as I mentioned, and that brings you right to the SEO portion of our 12-step process, that we publish articles. They're posted on third-party websites, and we create backlinks or submissions that turn into backlinks back to your website. And the more of these backlinks you generate, the stronger your website gets, the higher your ranking gets, and the more often you come up higher on page 1. Now, in Google's world, when you do an organic search, air conditioner repair in Los Angeles, you'll get 4 paid advertisements that'll come up on the top. And the next 3 items are organic searches. And it's pretty much the same around the country how that works. In those 3 organic searches, page 1, if you're in the number 1 spot, people will click your link 18% of the time. If you're number 2, it drops to 10%. If you're number 3, it drops to 7%. and these numbers are from Google, all the way down to still page 1, but in the 6th position, only 1% of the people will click on your site. And as you go further down from there, it drops off even more. So the only way that you're going to make money on the internet, on organic searches, is to be in those top 3 positions. That's where all the value is at. And reviews, SEO, blogging, they all build website value to help push you to the front of the file cabinet drawer so that you're on page 1, and then your rankings move you up. There's other things you can do with social media. Gives you some value, but also expands your digital footprint. As your website is developed and strong, and you've got a good, strong presence, you can expand your marketing through pay-per-clicks, video marketing, email marketing. Email marketing is a really great tool where we've got an automated system. You simply plug your email customers into it, and once a month they get an automated email on different topics, for air cleaners to maintenance on their equipment. Just another opportunity to be in front of them. And then, of course, mobile apps. And that's going to be a ever-expanding item that we're going to keep working on as we go forward. CRM, turning those people that go into your website into a lead. You want them to be able to access information so that they can schedule online. It's really important, whether it's for an estimate or a service call. In today's world, the average household has 2 adults working. No one's sitting home like when my parents were young. The mom stayed home all day. She could make phone calls if needed. Today, it doesn't work that way. And people get home late. They have dinner, and next thing you know, it's 7, 8 o'clock at night, and they've got to schedule a maintenance call. Your office is closed, but the internet is open 24 hours a day. You want to make it easy for people to do business with you, and so you need a CRM scheduling system, which is part of our standard website. If you don't have this already, this is something that you really want to consider adding. And you can set it up for multiple service, maintenance, and sales estimates. The way that my company used this is we just put a notice on there that we would call the next day or the next business day to verify times. And that way, if they booked something that was already booked, we would just reschedule. And then it worked really well. It allowed people to stay in touch with us, and again, made it easy for them to do business with us. This page will give you a headache if you keep looking at it, so I'll try and make it simple. It's that local listings. It's those 70 search engines plus that Google uses to verify your business. It's crazy, but if you look at all of them, there are many, many companies that have 50, 70 indexing errors. It can be an old phone number, an old address. It could be in one listing, you're listed as Pat's Heating. In another one, it could be Pat's Heating Inc. In a third one, it could be Pat's Heating and Air Conditioning. And because there's disparity from one listing to another, these are automated, call them spiders, that are crawling on your website from Google to verify your information. And if it doesn't come back with all the same information, it has doubt. Which one is the real business name? Which one is the real business phone number? You and I know as people because we can analyze, but digitally you can't. So it lowers your score, your Google score. So what we do is we go in, we run a report, we see how you're listed with all 70 of these search engines, and then we fix it. It's that simple. That said, it's an important piece to what Google is doing to make sure, verify that you're relevant, you're current, you're a legitimate business. Here's an example of a company that they ran a report, 159 data location errors. That's really huge. And down at the bottom, it tells you what some of them were. Address incorrect, names incorrect, website URLs missing, incorrect or missing phone numbers. I mean, there's a lot of things that get mixed up because a lot of this is entered manually, or it's entered correctly, but then you move your location, or you entered it and forgot your zip code. I mean, even something as simple as that, it creates an error and lowers your overall score. And so we go in and we clean all this up. Customer trust. I mean, The way to earn business, and I'm sure you all know this, is for customers to trust you. Trust your company, trust you, trust that you're going to do a good job, trust that you're qualified, trust that you're a credible, insured, trained, all those things, trust. And one of the ways for them to get it is through reviews. It's don't tell me what you do, show me what you do, and the reviews show you. So if you've built a database, dialogue, a list of reviews, and they're indexed properly for Google, people are going to see all these. And the way that we index it is at the end of each month, we update all the towns. So every town that you've gotten a review from, we create a back page for it. It's published behind your website. It's coding. It's not something that you're going to see. But we take that page and then we publish it on a third-party website, and we create a link back to your website, SEO. But we do it for the town, not for key phrases. So when people go in for HVAC in a town, it helps your ranking in those towns, and you'll start popping up more. The combination of doing SEO work on key phrases and this backlinking on towns is a real powerful 1-2 punch. At my previous company, our overall Google score really went up once we added the review portion of it. And I can't emphasize enough, again, the value of it. Jennifer has put together a little poem, and I'll read through it for you. It kind of outlines digital marketing and requires that we make changes. The digital age requires change. It is complex, different, and may feel like pain. The typical advertising agencies are feeling the same, having to pretend they understand code, indexing, and Google's algorithm change. In order to stay relevant to you, they must say they understand how consumers buy, and they can help you reach them this way. The reality is you have to have grown up in this age to truly compete. It's complex. It changes every day. And even if you do everything right, whether they find you online or are referred from a friend, at the end of the day, consumers will ultimately go online, do a search, and make their decision based on what everyone else has to say. It's not easy or fast. It's not going away. If you want to be in business 1,000 days from today, change the times and don't wait for technology to go away, because it's simply not going to happen. You've got to get on board. All of us are not computer experts, code experts. And my belief is a smart businessman is somebody who maximizes his strengths and relies on experts in other areas that they're not experts in. That's what CI Web Group brings to the table. This is what we do. 80 to 85% of our internet business is HVAC related. This is what we specialize in. All these years of collecting data, analyzing websites, analyzing marketing strategies and processes, and you have the benefit of all of those years of experience in data collection. We don't have to spend money trying things because we've already seen what works and what doesn't work. And we continue to evolve, invest money in infrastructure and training for our team so that we're current with Google's requirements, so that we can produce the best possible website for the best possible results for your company. Again, reviews from nearby now. As they get published, you'll see up at the top the towns get listed, and people will be able to just go on and click the town they're in if they want and see reviews from that town. It makes it a pretty powerful tool when they see somebody that they know and they put a 4 and a 5-star review on here. That is amazing. With that, even if they're not in one of those towns, all these reviews are shown, they show up. These reviews themselves are not indexed, but Google does see the towns as being indexed. And they're listed as current and new data so that your website is constantly having fresh information added to it, which adds to your Google ranking. It keeps you current, it keeps you fresh, it keeps you as an expert in Google's eyes. When you first get to a home, or call, an estimate, a business, whatever type of call you're running, you have the opportunity to check in. And as you do, you create these geo markers that will show up on the maps. And then it checks in with the town. Now you have the opportunity, as simple as an app on your phone, you just hit check in. But you have the ability to add a note. I'm in Auburn, Washington for another air conditioner cleaning. You can even add a picture to it. It's pretty cool. But these constant check-ins, and then you get reviews while you're at the home. When you're done with the call, you determine, was this a good call? Was this a good customer? Are they happy with our results? And if they are, you have the option of sending them a text and inviting them to do a review right then and there while you're there in the home. Very, very powerful because the number of people that do reviews is very small unless you're doing it while you're there. If it's a call that maybe they're not as happy with you on, then you don't have to send them that request. You control that. But it is a way for you to garnish getting a lot of reviews on your website. And those reviews really do help your website ranking. I'd like to turn it over to Mandeep for a couple of minutes, as Mandeep's specialty is online marketing and the things that go with SEO. So Mandeep, if you've got a moment, why don't you come in and talk to us a little bit about the 3Gs with Google?
Sure. Thank you so much, Pat, for introducing me. So yes, definitely going to talk about 3Gs of leads. These three 3Gs of leads are really, really important and effective when it comes to your business growth, because these three are the major campaigns in the industry to drive more leads. And those three are Google Business Listing, Google Rankings, which is through SEO, and the third one is Google AdWords, which is normally called as pay-per-click uh, for the paid marketing campaign. So these three things are really, really effective for your business to drive more traffic and leads. And yeah, I'm going to explain more in detail. Next slide, please. So one of the major campaign that Google offers is Google Business Listing. You don't need to pay any company to get registered with Google, because that's absolutely free. And Google provides you this facility to get listed with Google, and that is most recognizable entity, your digital asset on Google. So we always recommend to have your business listed with Google and get the positive reviews from your customers. Because if I give you one example, if somebody is searching for best Italian restaurant in Florida, so Google is going to show only 3 listings with the star ratings and the reviews for that restaurant. So one restaurant might come up with 4.0 with 30 reviews. Second would come up with 4.5 with 35 reviews, and third might come with 4.8 with 90 reviews. So this is our site that we always go with the high rated company, right? So this is the same concept with your HVAC industry as well. If you have the positive reviews, if you have uh, your good reviews online, yes, everyone is going to read out before selecting the contractor they want to go with. Reviews are really, really important, and Google always give the first preference to Google business reviews because it is associated with your business information, including your website. So that is most important part of your business, and seriously, you don't need to pay any company. You just need to manage it by replying your customers. If you're getting any negative or positive review, you need to reply to your customer. So make sure that you are taking care of your customer, because everyone is going to read out the reviews for sure. Next slide, please. And the second, one of the major campaign in digital marketing is SEO. Normally, it's called search engine optimization, and you can say SEO. And like Pat said, everyone is searching on Google, and top three positions are really, really important. And 18% of the customers are clicking on the first position, and 10% goes to the second position, and 7% goes to the third position. And it certainly falls if you go with the fourth and downwards. No one goes to the second page. It is always recommended to have your website presence online because you are going to generate traffic or leads on your way with the help of SEO. SEO is one of the most effective program ever. There was a time when people used to spam the website. There was a technique called black hat technique, and anyone can fill out number of keywords, locations, and you can easily rank up on Google. But those days have gone, and now Google has started penalizing the websites, and we can see the thousands of websites have already been penalized because of those spamming keywords, those irrelevant content, because your website might have copied content because you might have given your website to build from any other company. They might have posted copied content. Google is no longer giving the preference to any copied content or any website that has already dealt with black hat techniques. So we are experienced, and we have spent years of experience in mastering SEO techniques. And like Pat said, there are hundreds of updates on a monthly basis in Google algorithm. So we need to stay up to date on a regular basis, like what exactly is happening in the algorithm, and perform the best practices to make it happen for you, to make it happen on the page one with the help of backlinkings, content, and other activities. There are so many activities, but we are just mentioning the major backbone is content and backlinking that drives you on page one. So SEO is one of the major campaign for your business, and yes, absolutely, it's going to be your digital asset that you will have it in your future, because it is not going nowhere. Because if you are coming on page one, definitely you will drive more traffic and leads your way. If you're running any paid campaign, if that paid campaign goes exhausted, your budget gets exhausted, you will definitely go away from your Google search, right? But yes, indeed, that campaign is also important, and I'll come to that part. Next slide, please. So you can see that click-through rate now the trend is changing. So big companies like Google, Yahoo, they have collaborated one schema coding together, and that is something that we should recommend to have that coding implemented on the website, and that is called schema coding. Google is highly recommending to have schema coding implemented on your website, because if somebody is going to search on Google, let's say AC repair in New York, if you are coming up on Google on page one, that's fine. If you are there on top three position, that's fine. But if you are coming on page one with top one position and you have star ratings like 5 stars, you can see on the slide it says 4.8, 3,507 reviews. That makes the difference. That makes the difference because your customer is going to trust you because you have positive rating and reviews from your customers. That is called high click-through ratio. That position has got high CTR value if we compare with other positions. If you are ranking on top first page on third position with star ratings, and if your competitor is sitting on page one top first and second position, yes, definitely you'll get more clicks on your website because you have your high CTR value. Yes, that's one of the major recommendation to have schema coding implemented. Yeah, next slide, please. And that was second SEO was our second G, and now we are talking about third G, which is your Google AdWords. The third primary G is your Google AdWords, where we are talking about PPC, pay-per-click ads. if you search any key phrase in your area, let's say AC repair in New York, AC repair in Los Angeles, so you will notice at the beginning of the page, you will see the ads are coming up and you will say AD written on it. So those are pay-per-click ads where your competitors are spending daily budget. They have set daily budget with the Google and they are running their pay-per-click ads. And it is highly recommended that you run your pay-per-click ad with SEO. That makes the effective combination to drive more traffic to your website. And absolutely, you need to launch your pay-per-click campaign with respective one dedicated landing page. And I'll definitely talk about that landing page in the next few minutes. But yes, pay-per-click is one of the most effective strategy. Let's say if you are not there on page one on Google through SEO, it is highly recommended to run the pay-per-click campaign until you're there on page one. And it is always a good mixture of SEO, pay-per-click, and Google business listing, because if you are there with all three Gs, let's say if you're there on page one with Google AdWords, your ads are running. If you are there on your Google business listing, which is your listing with reviews, that is free listing. And third, you're coming up with SEO rankings on page one. That makes a difference because customer is going to recognize that yes, this is the contractor that I can trust because that has got the credibility with reviews and that has got online presence, and that will definitely drive more traffic and leads. Yeah, next slide, please. So now we need to talk about the pay-per-click strategy. So there are companies, those who have been running the pay-per-click campaign with the entire website, but we we always recommend to have a dedicated landing page. As you can see that we have these three showcase in front of you, three beautiful landing pages. We always recommend to have a campaign running, pay-per-click campaign running with dedicated landing page, because we don't want your audience or potential customers to uh, to to send them to your website with different pages. We want their focus to stay on the same page, to engage them with offers, with quality content, with your service area, so that they can take their decision instantly by calling you from that landing page or just filling out the gravity form to schedule the service with you guys. So that's more effective strategy to have a pay-per-click landing page in the pay-per-click campaign, not to go with the website. This is what we as a company, CF Web Group, we are master in developing beautiful landing pages that are driving leads and conversions on a daily basis for our clients. Next slide, please. So SEO. So if you talk about the RCTs to get leads, uh, you need to have all your channels running, including web content, blogging, and it should be a combination of social media. So everything, if you have high quality web content, high quality blogging on a monthly basis on your website, and you have relevant authority backlinking. So like Pat said initially that yes, we have high authority websites where we go and write articles and publish over there to get the backlinks to your website, and that's how you get rank on higher on Google. And indeed, we need to have content, which is the part of web content and blogging, social media links, and your backlinking. That makes a difference, and you get visible online and get more traffic to your website. Next slide, please.
You want me
Yes,
to jump back in here?
yes, sir. Please
Okay.
continue, sir.
This is another one of Jennifer's poems, or a way to explain, as she puts it, content is king. It's your voice online, your ability to speak. In reality, it's your company that they're seeing. It has tags and labels so it can be filed neatly. Why? Because people want to be able to find things easily. It's endorsed by many trustworthy sources. It's been around a while and it allows me to be so resourceful. I expect to find anything I need online, and I will start looking when I'm starting to unwind. You might be closed, and that's okay because your website's still open while you sleep for a while. I personally like videos. My husband likes blogs. I will read the reviews. He'll check the FAQs. All the technical jargon just freaks me out. Without a translator, I can't figure it out. I just want to know you care. Whatever product or service you sell, you should try wearing a disguise and see it through my eyes. If you can treat me like family, I will be raving, a fan, of course, so don't leave without getting my feedback. I will surely endorse. Let's just make it easy so I don't have to click the next result. Mandeep, you want to sum this up?
Yes, definitely. So yes, if you talk about the core content, yes, it's definitely required to have your content available on your website and on other high authority websites. There is always term that we must have heard, and Pat has shown in the previous slide that content is king. You need to have your high quality content available on your website, and even not on your website, even on all of your assets where you are communicating with the clients, with your customers. You should have your high quality content available, as mentioned, on webinar, on demand webinar, SlideShare, YouTube is the next game changing, where companies are targeting YouTube channel, and even we are promoting uh, our HVAC business on YouTube video with channels, and we are getting a lot of traffic through YouTube content. So content is king, not on the websites, even on the YouTube videos as well. That can make the phone ring. And audio post, a podcast, iTunes, Android, blog article. That is a game changing. You need to have high quality content published on a monthly basis. I would like highly recommend that every website should have at least 4 to 5 high quality blogs, because that's the key to get connected with your audience, even emotionally, with the content uh, that can bring more value, more business for you, and to share on social media as well. So there are so many platforms where we help, CI Web Group help you to have your digital assets with having the core content, and that is not going anywhere. If you have quality content, that is going to be there for long run, and that is your digital asset, and we would definitely help you in getting there. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, next slide, please.
We had started out earlier talking about the core of it really starts with your website, your branding, the web content, because that combined is your digital voice. That's what people see as your company. That's your choice to explain to the world who you are and what you do. And if you don't have high quality web content, you don't get the kind of return that you're looking for from Google or even from the customers. Next is building a CRM converter so that people can schedule online, set up appointments, because they're not home all the time during the day. They're doing things at night. They're doing things on the weekends. We need to make it easy for them to do business with us. It's that simple. Getting your local listings cleaned up, where those 70 search engines that have conflicting data, they all need to be on the same page so that Google sees you're relevant, you're current, you're an actual company doing business, and you're trustworthy. That gets your ranking up. Adding reviews to the website. The Nearby Now program is the best one that I've seen. It is the one that we use. I love that program. If there was one thing you were going to add to your website, that would be the one that I would recommend. The SEO value that you get from that is tremendous, as well as gaining trust when customers go to your website because they're reading current reviews, oftentimes in towns that they live in. Gives them a sense of comfort that you are a neighborhood heating and air conditioning contractor. You're in my backyard, I can trust you. When we add straight SEO to that, it just increases the value. The more backlinks to your website, the stronger the website becomes in Google's eyes. That ties blogging in as well. The reviews, the SEO, the blogging all kind of work together to really give your website a high visibility, high indexing visibility with Google. You add social media to it, Twitter and Facebook. You can add pay-per-click advertising, which gives you even more exposure to Google. Video marketing, email marketing, mobile apps, all of these things work synergistically together, but they do not have to all be added at the same time. It starts with a strong website with good branding on your company and strong web content. And once you've got that, you keep adding things to increase your exposure, increase the number of leads and the results you're getting from the internet. When we look at things, we try and analyze, and with our customers, we like to have 2 to 4 sessions a year where we go in marketing strategy sessions. We take a look at how we've performed. How have things been working? What's changed? Do we need to implement some changes on your site? Are you ready to add some additional marketing elements to your site? Do you want to add more content to your site? Do you want to add a review program? We analyze where you're at, what's working, and we try and do more of that, and what's not working, and we remove it or tweak that so that we get better results. We do the same strategy with our own company, and we do it quarterly, where we have a analyzing session company-wide. What's worked, what hasn't? Do we need to add different software? Do we need to have a different approach? Do we need to hire someone with a different type of expertise? And we constantly move towards improving our own company so that we can provide a higher level of service to your company. A SWOT analysis, analyzing your strengths, we try and maximize that. Analyzing your weaknesses, and we come up with a strategy to deal with that. Taking a look at what opportunities exist for you in your company and trying to create a path that allows you to take advantage of that. And to take a look at what the threats are and try and minimize any potential negative impacts from threats. The SWOT analysis strategy sessions, if you haven't done one with us, this is something you should be doing at least twice a year. Do it in your slower time where you've got time, and that gives you time to implement any kind of changes that make sense to you that we think will help your website and your service that you're providing to your customers, lead generation. Remember, the internet is constantly evolving and changing. If you put a stagnant website up, it might be state of the art today, but every day you don't add something to it. You don't add reviews, you don't add content, you don't add the new rules that Google comes out with, like the new coding schematics, the AMP program, and schema coding. Today, you kind of get bonus points if those things are added to your website. A year from now, if you don't have those on your website, you're going to get hit with a penalty. That's how Google does all of their implementations of change. Initially, if you jump on board, bonus points. A year and a half later, it's a penalty if you're not doing it. So your website needs to continue to evolve, and that's what we do in the SWOT analysis. Give you more ideas, see what's working, see what we can do to increase the results you're having and move you in a direction that you want to see your company go. Solution is simple. It really is. It just takes a little bit of involvement from your end to make sure that you keep somebody engaged, CI Web Group, who's watching your site, who's meeting with you on a regular basis so that we can analyze what's working and what's not. We try and make it as easy and painless as possible. That's why we provide reports and suggestions and ideas. And that's why we have people like Mandeep and Kathy who are on the line, experts in their own fields, to give us the best possible direction and advice that we can move on to our customers. You just have to stay in touch with us. You just have to participate in the process. Give us that opportunity to meet with you and see what we can do to increase your business. One of the things you can do is on your cell phone, text to the number 44222 and put Ferguson in the copy, and we're going to send you a information back. And that information is kind of self-explanatory on how you can get marketing information. It's no cost, and it's a way for you to gather a little different information. Additionally, you can go to www.cifreereports.com and get a free report and set up a free strategy session. For those of you who aren't familiar with us, we never charge for these strategy sessions. This is really about educating you and you seeing what things we can do to help you. I want to emphasize that unlike running an ad in a newspaper, you put $1 in an ad today, it runs tomorrow, you have calls right away, however many that is, and then 2 days later that paper's in the trash, your calls completely stop. The internet keeps going on. You spend money today and you build the strength of your website, you build the strength of the Google search, so that when people are organically searching for air conditioner repairs or a new air purifier, you come up in those top 3 slots on page 1. That's our entire goal, to get you on page 1, get you in one of those top 3 slots so that you're generating business. But it doesn't happen overnight. It takes time to build that. And as you're going through the process, your leads will gradually increase more and more and more until you get in one of those first 3 slots. Then the key is we change our strategy a little bit to maintain you in those first 3 slots. I hope you found the presentation today informative and helpful. I would really encourage you, even if you just want to see what options you have, reach out to us. Set up an opportunity where we can meet with you, create a strategy for your company moving forward, see what changes you can make so that you can increase business. Because again, back to the beginning, if you continue to do the same thing over and over, the reality is in the digital world, your results are going to decline. They're not even going to stay the same. I want to thank you for your time. And Mandeep, do you have anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, absolutely. You have said rightly that yes, we need to do the right things at the right time, and this is the best time because technology is changing. Yes, you don't need to do all of this, all of the campaigns at one time. I would always recommend to take the baby steps, get your website up according to the latest trend, and start with few campaigns. And data speaks everything. We have Google Analytics. We can see the numbers right in front of our eyes, which campaign is working well or which campaign is not working. So we can take out the non-performing campaign and work only with the campaign, that strategy that is working very well for the business and making more conversions and driving more leads. So that is my recommendation. And absolutely, we have a wonderful team in CI Web Group, and we can definitely help you to grow your business. Yeah.
Kathy, I think that's it. If you'd like to finish us up here, if you'd like to join us.
Absolutely. Gentlemen, y'all make me want to be a new customer starting all over again. Since I was a customer at CI Web Group at the very beginning of my experience with Jennifer Bagley, I am empowered every day with the things that I learned from the two of you, our team, and I think the biggest thing that I want people to take home with them today is that our goal is to treat your business like it's our business, and we would love to welcome any of y'all to the CI Web Group family. And guys, thank you again for the fantastic presentation.
Thank you.
Thank
Everybody
you.
have a terrific day.
Yeah. Have a wonderful day, guys. Thank you so much. Yeah.